What a night that was. Holy cow. That rain, it was like torrential downpour all night. And even though I have, all this rain gear and my tent that is water sealed, water still got in. There was so much water last night, the ground just couldn't hold anymore, so it started to pool everywhere, and it just started to run everywhere, and it started coming up through the bottom of my tent, and so I had to go out and actually dig a trench around my tent to try to divert the water away from it, and that worked for a little while, but it got to the point where there was just so much water running just everywhere. This whole area was just water. That trench that I had dug, it washed out, and water just started coming up right through the bottom of the tent. So I'm just drying stuff out right now, and then I'll get a little breakfast. Today's weather actually is looking pretty good. There's a decent amount of blue sky right here. I do have some more rain clouds back here that are starting to blow this way, so I'm gonna keep an eye on those because I don't want this stuff to get more wet than it already is. But if that just blows right through and we get blue sky, it might actually be a fairly decent day today. It was supposed to be pretty rainy, but I don't know how the sky can hold any more rain because that was crazy last night. So yeah, I'm just getting stuff dry right now. I'll go dry out my tent. I did take care of my camera gear and my laptop and electronics and whatnot last night. I wrapped that stuff up really well in just multiple layers of waterproof stuff. So that stuff, other than just the humidity getting to it, that stuff is okay, thank goodness. But yeah, I've got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, I've got a few clothing items that I'm gonna hang up and let dry here. And then we'll get some breakfast, I'll get my contacts in, go look for critters. I hear a lot of birds, they're all up high in the trees. Haven't seen any foxes since yesterday, that one yesterday afternoon. But who knows? I mean, they're out here somewhere, so I'm gonna go out and look for them, see what we can find. Hopefully get this stuff dried off. So let's go get some breakfast and dry that tent out a little bit and go from there. You can just see how muddy and chaotic and gross everything is. The wind got so strong that it was pulling the stakes out of the ground as well. It was hitting this side of the tent, which is the opposite direction of when I first got here, of the direction the wind was blowing. So it just started pulling that stake, that corner stake out. So I got that big rock yesterday and put it there, and it's kept it in so far. But you can just see everywhere where the rain just splattered the mud up. It's just really dirty and gross right now, so I'm gonna have to clean this stuff off really well. Hopefully it'll all dry out and I can just brush it off, but everything is just kind of wet and dirty and gross. You see that? Goodness. So much water.
So cool. This just goes to show how much water, how much rain there's been the last 2 days since I've been here. This creek bed was completely dry when I got here 2 days ago, and now it's just full-on creek going. And this is how it's been pretty much all over the place. There's new streams, new creeks just popping up just all over the place. There's just so much water. We had another rainstorm this afternoon, really heavy one, lasted for maybe like 25 minutes, so I got all my rain gear back on. But other than that, it's been a pretty good day as far as weather goes. The sun came out for a little while. I was able to get those foxes this morning. I found 3 of them this morning, and honestly I think they were just over the rain because they came out and they were just content relaxing in the sun, and a couple of them got up and started looking for grubs and insects and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just been a very nice weather day, which has been awesome. I've seen more foxes today than the other, the previous 2 days combined, so it's been really nice. I've got about an hour and a half left of sunlight, and so I'm gonna go see what else I can find, see if I can find some more foxes, and then we'll head back to camp and get some dinner. What an awesome day that was. It makes such a big difference when the weather is decent and the foxes are actually out. It's getting really dark right now if you can't tell. The moon's come up. I haven't seen the moon the whole trip. We've got a nice full moon tonight. I'm really excited about that. I always like a full moon. I'm gonna get some dinner going now, and I've got some dessert to go with my dinner. I found some prickly pears. I don't know if you can see those, probably too dark. But I found some prickly pears, which are one of my favorite wild edibles. They're just so good. So I've got 2 of those for tonight for dessert, and then I got 1 for the morning for breakfast. And I'll show you guys in the morning how I prepare those so I don't stab my mouth. But you know, I've got a few personal rules when it comes to wild edibles. First, and very importantly, is I only ever pick them. I only ever harvest wild edibles if I'm 100% sure I know what it is. There's a lot of tasty berries and fruits and plants out there, and there's a lot of harmful or deadly lookalikes. So I only ever take wild edibles if I know for sure what it is, with no doubt, anything like that. Next thing is, I only ever take them if it's allowed in the area in which I'm in, and if I ever have any questions whether it's allowed or not, I just contact the managing agency of that area, whether it's Forest Service or, you know, whatever it is. And then third is wildlife always comes first. So I'll only take a wild edible if there's enough for the local wildlife as well, if they're using it as a food source. If they're not even using it as a food source, like these prickly pear, then I'll have at it. But even then, you know, I won't take them all. I'll leave a decent amount. So I'm really excited for these. I'm glad I found them because prickly pear are just delicious. So I'm gonna get some dinner now and then hop to bed. I think pretty early tonight, even though it's still fairly early. I haven't gotten much sleep the last couple nights with the storm, so I'm gonna get my dinner and then hop to bed. What an awesome day though with those foxes. It was so much fun. I saw a few birds here and there. I got close enough to a couple for a few pictures, but for the most part with the birds, I just didn't have enough reach with my lens. They're a little bit more flighty today, so yeah, just a fantastic day though. I absolutely love it out here, and I'm so grateful that the weather's starting to shape up a little bit. So I hope it continues like this tomorrow. I actually just saw a bat fly right across the moon. That would have been an awesome picture. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll watch to see if there's more out here. But yeah, let's get some dinner. Got my water filtered now. So let's get some dinner going, and then I will check in with you guys with that prickly pear in the morning. Good morning. What a wonderful morning it's been. It's still pretty early. I got up fairly early to go on hike, and it was just beautiful. Such a gorgeous morning. I didn't go too far, maybe 3.5 miles. So it wasn't too long, but just beautiful scenery out here. It's been pretty slow as far as foxes go. I think with that full moon last night, they were probably up later getting food and whatnot while they had that light to work with from the moon. So it seems they're all sleeping in this morning. But I did see one on the hill just up here above my camp. So I'll get some breakfast going and then go see if I can get him a little bit. It's about time for me to pack up though. These 3 days have gone so fast. But yeah, it's about time for me to pack up and start heading out of the area. Unfortunately, I love it out here and I'm gonna miss it so much. It's just been such a fun and amazing trip. But I'm gonna get some breakfast going. I wanna show you guys that prickly pear. I've got it here. I ate 2 of them last night and they were so good. But I've got another one. I made this little improvised little carrier out of bark because I didn't want to try juggling them by hand. So that worked out really well, but let's prepare them here and I'll show you how I do that, and then I'm gonna get packed up. We'll go see if we can find that fox. Looks like he's laying back down, or another fox on our way out to hopefully get some pictures of. But yeah, let's get breakfast, prickly pear, and we'll go from there. Alright, so prickly pears are pretty easy to process. I'm just going to use this piece of bark here, as well as my knife and a twig. And all you're going to do, you want to be very careful when dealing with these, because they have a lot of very fine spines that are hard to see. But if you've ever had a fiberglass sliver in you, that's what it feels like. So I'm just going to make a slit in the top of the fruit here. I'm going to poke it with a stick, and the easiest way to get rid of all those fine little hairs, you can shave them off with a knife, but honestly the easiest way is to use a flame, and they just burn right off. You can see them burning off there. So I'm going to burn all those off. And they burn off pretty quick, but I like to be safe and let it go for a little bit longer than absolutely necessary, just to make sure I get them all. Kind of like roasting a marshmallow. So I'm going to go through, get all the little hairs off, and then what we're gonna do, keep the stick in, make sure you got a clean blade, clean edge. I'm gonna make 3 cuts down the side, all the way down, just through the skin. And there's 1, there's 2, you can do 3 or 4, it doesn't really matter. However many you want. And there's 3. And what we're gonna do now is make sure you've got all the hairs, but you're just gonna peel the skin right down. Just like that. And open it up. Now we don't need the heat anymore. I'm going to turn that off. And then with your spoon, you can eat the pulp. There's like a flesh, and then there's like this pulp with the seeds in it. So this darker portion here has the seeds in it. That's the best part in my opinion. I just spit the seeds out, and then this like flesh around it you can eat as well. So let's give it a try. All right, do you see that? That is pure prickly pear cactus. It's so good. The fruit, oh my goodness. The fruit, to me, tastes like papaya with like a hint of guava to it. I think these scrub jays want some. It is so good though. So I'm gonna save these other 2 pieces until after my breakfast, and that'll be like my dessert. But I'm not gonna make you jealous by enjoying this all in front of you, so I'll check in with you in a little bit. Well, it's time to hit the trail. These last 3 days have been so much fun for me. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure, because I have just had so much fun with these foxes, with the amazing, just beautiful landscape out here. All the different birds and scenery I've been able to photograph and see has just been amazing. These trips always pass so fast, and it's always sad saying goodbye to these magnificent spots, but I'll be back again. Thank you so much for following along this week. I really appreciate you guys coming along with me on my outings and adventures as I photograph the beautiful species that I get to. I really do appreciate it. Have fun out there in your own adventures. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.